One of my favorite conspiracies ever is actually not really a conspiracy at all. It's rather a list of similarities and coincidences between Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy. And it totally plays into that old adage of history just repeats itself. There's so many versions of this, and so many of them have been loaded with absolute hogwash over the years that it kind of destroyed the credibility of the entire thing. So, is it true? Or is it not true? Well, today we're going to build the ultimate version of this conspiracy, and we're going to build it on cold, hard facts. Nothing more, nothing less. And let me tell you, the research took forever. But it was totally worth it. I put together a list of the top 30 coincidences that I found associated with this conspiracy, and let me tell you, it's kind of shocking. Now I'm going to go ahead and start with the easiest ones to either prove or disprove, and let's see what's true and what's barnacles! First one. Both presidents are a piece of American folklore of unknown origin. Barnacles! No. We know very much about these people from early life, such as family trees, birthplace, birth year, hobbies, military service, etc. The list goes on and on and on. Both presidents in their 30s married 24-year-old wives. Let's math it out. Jackie O was born July 28th, 1929, and married JFK September 12th, 1953. So yeah, she was 24. Now Mary Todd, born December 13th, 1818, married Lincoln November 4th, 1842, making her 23 years, 10 months, and 22 days old. So close, but that is absolute barnacles! Lincoln and JFK were both elected to Congress for the first time in 46. This is absolutely true. Abraham Lincoln was elected to House of Representatives in 1846, and Kennedy was elected to the House of Representatives in 1946, so we're good there. Both presidents had concerns with civil rights. I don't think I need to elaborate, but I will anyway. Obviously, Lincoln was slavery, and John F. Kennedy was dealing with segregation, as well as advocating for women's rights with the whole campaign, equal work, equal pay, so we're good there. Both presidents assassinated in the 60s. Yes, Lincoln was assassinated, Ford's Theater, 1865, and JFK in Dealey Plaza, Dallas, Texas, in 1963. Both presidents were shot in the back of the head. Well, Lincoln was shot behind the ear, so I'll consider that the back of the head. And Kennedy, although I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole today. No. I don't think he was shot in the back of the head, but we're going to go off of the official story, which is the Warren Report, and it says it was the back of the head, so we're going to go with the back of the head. And we got a match. Both presidents were shot on a Friday. Barnacles! During their assassinations, both presidents were seated next to their wives, in which neither were injured. This is true. While Mary Todd and Jackie O were not physically injured, I'm pretty sure it took a while to psychologically recover from what they had just witnessed, but in the spirit of the argument, no. Besides, I'm kind of surprised that magic bullet didn't take out the Queen of England 5,000 miles away, let alone Jackie O, who was sitting right next to the man himself.
I don't know what he shot at. I guess I'll just have to find out when I land.
Next, both ladies spoke French fluently. This is absolutely true. Mary Todd attended Madame Mattel's finishing school, where she learned French fluently. And Jackie O spoke 4 languages: English, Spanish, Italian, and French. This is well known and well documented. Both presidents had a child die while serving in the White House. This one kind of goes a little deeper, but stay with me here. Kennedy had a child named Patrick P. Kennedy who passed 2 days after birth while he was president. And Lincoln had 2 children pass during his presidency: William Wallace Lincoln and Thomas Tad Lincoln. Now, while there's a little difference there, they did both at least have 1 child that passed during their presidency. I did find another coincidence along the way. Now, you can let me know in the comments below if you think this should be in or not, and that is both presidents had 4 children, in which 2 children did not make it to adulthood. Lincoln had 4 children, William and Thomas, who had passed at a younger age, as I mentioned before, Robert Todd Lincoln, who lived to 82, and Edward Baker Lincoln, who died at 18. And although 18 is young, he's technically an adult. Now, Kennedy himself had 4 children: Arabella, who was stillborn, and Patrick, who tragically died 2 days after birth. And then you have John Jr. and Caroline Kennedy, who is still alive today. Both presidents were their parents' second child. This is absolutely true. President Lincoln was second to his sister Sarah, and JFK was second to his brother Joseph P. Kennedy Jr. Both siblings died in their 20s. Sarah Lincoln passed at 21, giving birth to her first child. And Joseph P. Kennedy Jr. passed at 29 in a naval airplane explosion during Operation Aphrodite. This one was not easy to do. It took hours and hours and hours of my life that I will never get back. I did it so you don't have to. Thank me later. Or just thank me with a sub. That works too. Both presidents were related to a U.S. Senator, an Attorney General, an ambassador to Great Britain, and a mayor of Boston. Lincoln had no blood relatives that were ever senators, but U.S. Senator Blanche Lincoln of Arkansas married Steve Lincoln, who was a distant but blood relative of Abe Lincoln himself. JFK's brothers, Robert F. Kennedy and Ted Kennedy, as well as Joseph P. Kennedy II in the years to come, were all U.S. senators. Next up, Attorney General. Lincoln was related to Levi Lincoln Sr., who was the 4th U.S. Attorney General. And I'm pretty sure we all know Kennedy's little brother, Robert F. Kennedy, was the 64th U.S. Attorney General. This one's pretty simple. Ambassador to Great Britain. Now, Robert Todd Lincoln, which was Lincoln's only surviving child, became ambassador to Great Britain in 1889 to 1893. And, well, the Kennedy family, it seems like every single one of them become an ambassador. Kennedy's father, who was ambassador to Great Britain in 1938 to 1940, his sister from 1993 to 1998, his nephew from 2022 to 2024, his daughter from 2013 to 2017, and his sister-in-law since 2022. Tad overkill, but it checks out. And last but not least, a mayor of Boston. Lincoln was never related to a mayor of Boston before, during, or after his lifetime. And since Lincoln's direct bloodline actually ends with the death of his great-grandson Robert Todd Lincoln Beckwith in 1985, that one's never gonna happen. So, no. Both presidents were elected to presidency in the 60s. Obviously true, Lincoln in 1860 and Kennedy in 1960, although this would have been true no matter who became president in those years. Both were succeeded by a vice president, in which both vice presidents' last names was
Johnson.
This is absolutely true. You have Andrew Johnson as well as Lyndon B. Johnson, but there is absolutely no relation between the two. Both Johnsons were born in 08. Absolutely true. Andrew Johnson was born in 1808, and Lyndon B. Johnson was born in 1908. Both presidents were shot by the assassin using only one shot.
No!
That is absolutely absurd. Lincoln, sure, he was shot by a .44 caliber Derringer pistol that fired a single ball, but JFK, even according to the Warren Report, which was complete bullshit to begin with, said that he fired 3 shots. John Wilkes Booth ran from Ford's Theater, where he was caught in a warehouse. And Lee Harvey Oswald shot Kennedy from a warehouse and was caught in a theater. Now this one's half true. Lee Harvey Oswald fired his weapon from the school book depository, which was a warehouse, and was caught in a movie theater. John Wilkes Booth shot Lincoln in Ford's Theater, but was not caught in a warehouse. He was actually killed by Union soldiers in a barn in Virginia. However, on that same note, Lincoln was shot in Ford's Theater, and Kennedy was shot while sitting in a Ford Lincoln. Both assassins were born in 1939. Lee Harvey Oswald was born October 18th, 1939, while John Wilkes Booth was born May 10th, 1838. So this one is absolute barnacles! Both assassins were killed before trial. This is absolutely true. Again, John Wilkes Booth was killed by Union soldiers in a barn in Virginia, while Lee Harvey Oswald was actually shot while in police custody by Jack Ruby. So there we have it, the actual facts, a full list that isn't full of bullshit. Let me know down below if there's any that I missed, or let me know if there's any that you found on your own. Until next time, stay psyched.